What a warm community. What a beautiful, authentic feeling that I have right now. And your amazing leader, Reverend David Clark. We go back a few years, and I just want to say, Reverend David, thank you for that wonderful, that beautiful introduction that reminds me of who I am and whose I am. I'm so grateful to be with you. Bobby, your meditation, oh my gosh, I'm floating in it. I'm in that infinite mind right now. So you're right. Relationships, your theme for the month has been this ongoing theme of relationship. And we know that that relationship, just to review for a moment, it starts with self, that oneness with that infinite mind, that really we are the wave in the ocean. There is no separation. And then you've talked about how relationship with others, how it relates to the collective we. And then last week, you focused in on relationships we have with the broader gathering of people creates, sustains, and grows societies. And I have to tell you that through my experience, the training that I did to become a clinical chaplain, and the time that I spent at Kaiser in the hospital, emergency, ICU, and when I was sitting there with a patient, the only thing that they had a regret around was the way they had not loved enough in their relationships. I heard that over and over again. And relationship with ourself creates that vessel of self-love so that we can go out and give and receive love. So today I invite you, would you, for the next 20 or 25 minutes, just to be in the present moment, open up your heart so that we can explore our love affair relationship, one with nature. And we're also going to review some of our beliefs and truths, our Ernest Holm, our founder, and how we are steeped in the fundamental truths of Ernest Holmes. And I'm going to share a little bit about how I fell in love, one with nature. Then together, what I'd like to do is I'd like to share a very practical, spiritual practice that I have practiced probably ongoing since COVID, that has really helped me move through and beyond those feelings of isolation and knowing that I'm always one with God, always one with Spirit. So I'd like to just go back to our beloved founder, Ernest Holmes, and this is from his book, Creative Mind. And I'd like to invite you to just open up your heart and to just sink into these words with me. All of nature, the entire seen and unseen universe is all happening within and as a result of God acting upon itself. Nothing happens outside of spirit. How we relate to nature is a direct demonstration to how we relate to God. Every attribute, trait, quality we experience in nature all points to the same aspect of God. Just how it creates, we cannot know and need not attempt to understand. For whatever this process of creation is, we find it is always an inner thought process. We should keep this in mind. The spirit makes all things out of itself. Everything comes into being without effort. And when we exert ourselves, we are not in accord with the creative spirit in the way in which it works. The impulse of the spirit to move must be caused by a desire to express what it feels itself to be, as Bobby mentioned in the meditation: beauty, form, color, life, love, and power. All things else we find in the manifest universe are attributes of spirit and are caused to spring into being through the word, because the spirit wants to enjoy itself, and that is from creative mind. We're a part of this universe. We're in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. And that is Neil deGrasse Tyson, an American astrophysicist. So perhaps this runs through your heart or through that inner being of yours. At times you say, well, what is the value we receive from having a love affair, one with nature? Well, Anne Frank, in her diary of a young girl, she says this: nature brings solace to all troubles. Our founder said this, and just feel this, just resting in your heart, just opening up your heart. All our memories of the past will be healed, and all the pent-up energies of unexpressed desires will flow out from us in joyful expression if our communion with nature and with the spirit becomes complete. We are able to, as we manifest and connect in this holy relationship with nature, it reawakens us to know our truth. It reawakens us from the humanness. I call it the ego illusion, to bring us back to the truth. There is only one infinite mind, and God is all. That includes all there is: intelligence of man, life in an animal that we've talked about in our prayer today, or the invisible presence, which is God. That mind principle, we live and move and have our very being. And so our love affair with nature, which is an extension of the love for ourselves and love for everyone else, enhances the balance of our mind, body, and spirit well-being. The more we relate to nature is a direct demonstration of how we relate to God. So I'd like to share a couple of personal stories around how I fell in love with nature. And as I'm sharing some of these stories, I'd like to invite you to start thinking. Allow this just to come through your heart. Start thinking about how you have grown and enriched your love affair with nature. So some of you know I'm Canadian. I was born and raised in the capital. No, this isn't going to be a geography lesson, and there is no quiz at the end of the service. I'll put the questions in the chat, and then we'll get, we're good. So I first realized my own love affair, and it was really out of necessity. I was about 10 years old, and we lived in this little town called Morrisburg on the St. Lawrence Seaway. Maybe there is a little more history and geography. So this is a little town of about 2,500 constituents. And the St. Lawrence Seaway, as you recall from your history and geography, this allows ocean-going vessels to transport goods and products from the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes. And I can remember as a 10-year-old, and I was raised in a home that wasn't always peaceful and loving. And I would go to our private sandy beach, and I would stand there and I'd watch these ocean-going vessels that were within, it was about a mile across to Messina, New York. We could see the US border. And we would watch some of the crew members of these ships throwing food scraps to the seagulls. And I would become lost in the relationship with these seagulls. And I would look at them and I would know that there was something greater. At 10, I knew there was something greater. And this feeling of being able to rest and be at peace as I watched them without struggling and just showing up in the present moment and enjoying the food that was being thrown overboard to the seagulls. Then the deeper dive or the relationship with nature came. We had 100 acres of McIntosh apple trees. And I would walk the rows of apple trees, just sinking into the love, feeling the breeze, feeling the sunshine, feeling that sacredness of just being held and loved that would renew me so that I could return to my house with these people that were not always loving and kind. So fast forward, my love affair really revs up now because I'm a runner. I'm a marathon runner. I run 5 miles every day. And so the running came about in the 20s. And I was really committed to trail running. And when you think of trail running, think about the Western States run, those inspired, motivated people that run 100 miles through snow down to Auburn. And so I remember one deep love affair that just moved me to a higher awareness of the divine, of the infinite mind. It was in the Green Mountains of Vermont. And I'm pacing 100-mile runners through the night, full moon, animal sounds, and it wasn't a herd of dogs. They didn't look like dogs. I think they were coyotes. And here I am in this beautiful moon-filled place, feeling that I was wrapped in this sacred blanket of nature, sinking and feeling the peace, the calm, and the oneness with this relationship that I had with this orthodontic, retired orthodontist who was 87 years old, running 100 miles, pacing, sinking, the blanket of the divine, the mountain, the grass, the birds, the squirrels, the owls kept us in that amazing love affair with nature. So daily, I have a little fur baby named Carmel Louise Hart, aka Carmi. She's a little wire-haired dachshund with a splash of poodle and a splash of Cairn Terrier. And so every day we have this appointment, this rendezvous with nature, a 5-mile run that becomes my meditation, prayer, tapping into the infinite mind and just gathering up these ideas that are coming through. In fact, David and I talked last week, and we talked about the fact that when we run, these ideas, they just flow through. Resting and knowing that as I'm up on the canal or running along the canal up on the levee, that I am one, that Carmi and I are one with the birds, the turtles, the fish, the geese, the ducks, the squirrels, and it goes on and on. And for Carmi, her most favorite connection to that divine nature, she chooses squirrels. She really, really likes to experience her 5 senses, especially taste, which I say to her, no, Carmi, no taste, no eat squirrels today. So the point of my stories is to let you know that I am practicing every single day my love affair with nature. And when you think about it, when you think about your own personal love affair with nature, there is no separation. The whole package, every aspect of relationship is one. You cannot separate yourself from others and from nature. We are all one. So perhaps you may be asking yourself, how do I enhance my love affair with nature? What is it? And I really challenge you later today to really sink into and reaffirm your love affair with nature. Is it through a walk? Is it hiking? Is it resting in your garden, feeling, touching, being? Is it cycling? Is it dancing and singing in nature? Is it performing at our beautiful Prince Grand Odeum yesterday? Sketching and painting in nature. So let's explore this spiritual practice. And you know, I'm the kind of person, if it isn't simple and easy, I'm probably not going to keep doing it. And this is something that really has carried me through this COVID. I knew that I could always go out and have the love affair with nature. However, I felt that isolation, that separation, that abandonment, sometimes with self, with others, because of course we could not connect with each other. However, I always know, and this is true for you, for us, the truth is, where I am, God is. Where I go, God is. And that's an amen to that. So this daily practice, we get up, we do some prayer, some meditation, and then Carmi and I step into this practice. However, there's something that takes place. I can hear the footsteps coming down the hall, and Carmi is coming into my office looking to have her love tank filled up. Her tank is empty. Now she's had treats, she's had breakfast, she's coming, she's looking at me. I pick her up and I hold her and I say, Carmi, tummy rubs, tummy kisses. Are you feeling filled up? Are you getting the love in your tank, honey? And of course, it's not for her, it's for me. So I am really filling up my own little self-love tank to get ready to get the running shoes on to go. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to describe the process and we're going to practice it. I want to practice it. I want us to practice it because I'm going to invite you to try it. So it starts with breathing. Everything starts with breathing, and Bobby did a beautiful job showing us how to breathe, bringing us back, getting us back to center. And we know that with breathing, we're able to return to our oneness with source. Through breathing, we can harmonize our heart and our brain. Now, this practice is a practice that Greg Braden does every morning. You may be very familiar with this. And you know, Greg Braden merges science and spirituality. You can find him on YouTube. I'm sure you watch him all the time. He says heart intelligence empowers us. These neurons in our brain connect to the network of the heart to reawaken our love affair relationship with nature. So this heart-brain harmony, he talks about, this emerged 200,000 years ago. This is ancient wisdom. I'm probably sharing something that you already know. So the technique removes stress that depletes the immune system for up to 6 hours. And so I'm just going to quickly take you through it, and then we're going to practice it. So first of all, it's shift your focus. Go from your mind, your thinking mind, to your heart. And if you feel comfortable, you can take your fingers or take your hand. Place your fingers or hand in any way that is comfortable and feel the sensation. Feel the amazing chemistry of your body, the infinite mind, the infinite intelligence of every organ, every cell, every fiber, and in between, how it absolutely is woven in love. So this breathing, you really slow it down. It's 5 seconds and exhaling for 8 seconds. And we're going to practice it in a little bit. Do it about 3 times. So the other thing that happens is, as you're breathing, you begin to feel a sensation, an emotion, a feeling. And as you're thinking about this, evoking that feeling, think of a memory of an event, a child, a fur baby, a favorite poem that creates a feeling. The feeling, to send the power of this feeling as a signal to the brain. I am so grateful that we have spent so much time talking about gratitude this morning, because that is my feeling. That is what I use. Gratitude is my mantra. In fact, everywhere I go, David will attest to this. He'll say, "How you doing?" I'm blessed and grateful. I really invite you to try that one out. You'll be able to write a book on the responses that you receive from others. So gratitude helps us to feel good. It inspires us through a consciousness to use the power to do good. Gratitude heals, it energizes, and it transforms. Dr. Robert Emmons, who is right there in Davis, professor at UC Davis, at internationally known books and teachings on gratitude. And so for myself, I've been able to go in and do a 21-day program on creating emotional prosperity through the practice of gratitude. So let's go back to our exercise. You've got the feeling, whatever it is, and we know thoughts held in mind, we've been talking about this morning, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity. So as we now step into, we're in this process of breathing. Now, as we feel that feeling, the next part of this practice is to affirm. What is that mantra? What is that affirmation that will complement your breathing technique, that allows you to stay in your innate divine identity of orbit? And so you will want to think about creating an affirmation. That affirmation opens me up to connect to my spiritual sense of things, my consciousness of Christ. And thank you, the beautiful affirmation that Bobby shared this morning. I open my heart to now receive the healing love of nature. Perhaps we can use that this morning. So now we're open. Carmi and I have got our running shoes on. We've got our jogger going, and off we are to begin our run for our sacred nature rendezvous. You're ready. You're going out for your walk. You're going into the garden. You're going to sit and read a book to your grandchild. Whatever it might be, now that mindful intention, the intention to seek and give and receive love through our five senses. So recently on Facebook, I received a post from a couple of dear friends. They were sitting in their backyard around their pool, and they were holding this intention for butterfly or dragonflies to land on them. They talked about, they sat there for an hour and the dragonflies kept landing all over their body. They were having a love affair with these dragonflies that apparently visit every day. What is your intention before you step out? Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, one of my favorite teachers, all you really need to do is accept this moment fully. You are then at ease in the here and now and at ease with yourself. You've set the intention. Now it is becoming childlike. Become curious. Surrender into the wonderment, joy, ease, grace, expansiveness, and awe to fully open up to receive love through your five senses. And this is really being present, opening up. I don't know if you've ever had this experience. And this is true confession with Rev David. The day that we talked on the phone, I'm hands-free, hands-free. You don't need to report me. 25-minute conversation. I got home and I don't know how I got home. Has that ever happened to you? I don't even remember getting off the freeway. True confession. The point of the story is, as you step out, your breath, you're affirming, your attention, you're mindful. Now you step into the collaborative symphony of your senses. Taste, sight, smell, touch, hearing. The smell, Carmi's favorite smell is goose, and you fill in the blank. Goose, it's green. Am I giving you enough clues? Did I spoil it for you? I probably gave you too many clues. So she really, really likes the feel, the touch. How present are you in your senses? The more that we can open up and be totally present, I call it the thought, or the gap between the thoughts, to really experience, to smell, to taste. The most important, the sixth sense that we talk about, our connection with our infinite mind, our natural intuition, the inner voice, the inner sight that speaks in a whisper, unless I'm not listening, and then it gets really loud. I get the cosmic 2x4. Listening to that inner wisdom as you're connecting and having this love affair with nature. So what I'd like to do is, let's go through the process together. Would you be willing to join me in the process? Okay. All right. So we just take this few minutes and just feel comfortable, and imagine where you might be, that beautiful meditation that Bobby did that took us out. And I invite you to follow this breathing with me as you place your hand, your fingers, whatever is comfortable. Feel that beautiful heart of yours. And I will guide us through the breathing exercise. We're going to inhale 5 seconds and exhale 8 seconds. So together. Exhaling. Really slow it down. Inhaling 5 seconds. Exhaling. And one more time. Exhaling. And as you feel the warmth of your heart, think of a feeling. What is that feeling? Joy, happiness, gratitude, compassion. Just feel it. What color is it? How bright is it? What is the tone? What's the vibration? And then we affirm our beautiful affirmation. I open my heart to now give and receive the healing love of nature. I open my heart to now give and receive the healing love of nature. Opening up your heart with a curiosity, a wonderment, an awe as you feel the warmth and the light touching each of your senses. Taste, sight, smell, touch, hearing. The more we open up and trust and be in this present moment, the more we feel God, our source, our oneness, as we float one with the infinite mind. As we venture on our love affair, our rendezvous with nature, there is an ease, a grace, an opening to that inner voice, that inner sight, that truth, that absolute truth that always unfolds the highest and best in our life. And so may my words be your words. I continue in this conscious knowing. My inner voice speaks in a whisper through my heart to discern spiritual ideas back of any physical symbol. As I use the mind that Jesus used, God is creative intelligence or mind, omnipresent, everywhere present in the universe and manifesting through every created thing, especially during my love affair with nature. And so it is. Amen. I invite you just to open your eyes and return to this present moment, only moment, and to know that what we've shared this morning is this practice to empower, strengthen, and enrich our love affair relationship with nature. We've practiced some of the breathing to harmonize our heart and our brain. We've created an affirmation, a mantra. What is it for you, so that you can spin in that orbit of that infinite mind, be held in that place with ease and grace. And the mindfulness of being in the present moment, just to feel fully soaking and resting in our senses, and especially the inner voice, that sixth sense, connected to the one infinite mind, to step in to the rendezvous love affair with self, with others, with the community, with the world, with the universe, and with nature. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be one with you this morning. Mwah.